You are flipping in fifth with me, Mrs. G. More geometry on your way, the love of shapes that I have. We're going to be talking about topic 12, lesson 2, and today's learning target is I can identify different views of a solid. Go ahead and pause the video now and make sure you write in the topic, lesson, and the learning target. We have 2 vocabulary words for the day, and just like yesterday, it's important that you actually copy down the picture the best of your ability as well under your vocab and notes section. On the top, we have a block, and on the bottom, we have what would be equal to a geometric solid. So it's a group of blocks all snuck together into a different shape. Go ahead and pause the video and write those down. Have you ever looked at things from a different perspective? In other words, a different view, a different angle. So here we have a beautiful picture of the Statue of Liberty, and we are looking at her from the front view. We're right in front of her. But this is a view of her from the top view. Same Statue of Liberty, but it looks different, right? Because it depends on your perspective. It depends on your view. So as you will notice in this picture from the top, you don't see her face. But do we think it's missing? No, it's just hidden because of the top of her hat. So the same thing is going to be true when we're talking about geometry. So here, how many cubes were used to build this solid? It is kind of a trick question, so go ahead and count them up. How many do you think were used to build this solid? Did you say 8? I know, you probably think I've gone crazy, right? Because you probably think there's only 7. Well, let's count them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But what you forgot is the one below 7 and the one behind 4. That is number 8. This block isn't just setting on nothing, right? There has to be a hidden block back in here. It all depends on what perspective or what view you look at this geometric solid from. But there are 8 blocks. Here, if we split them apart, you can see this is where the 8th block is. It's a hidden block, but you know it's there. And if you looked at it from a different angle or a different perspective, you would see it. So that's what we're talking about today. And we want to know, what would the front view of this solid look like? So here we have a little miniature version of it, and this is what it would look like if you were just looking at it from the front. Here we're kind of up a little bit to the right, but if we were just looking at it from the front, we would see these blocks. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3 over. Okay? So why is the number of blocks in the second picture here different from the first picture? Well, we already know there are 8 blocks over here, and here we just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So why are they different? Well, it's because 2 of the blocks are not visible. This block is not visible, and then that block that's underneath this one is not visible from the front. So that's why it looks like this. So now, what would the side view look like on this shape? So here we're just looking at the greens. And again, we had 8 blocks in this figure, but if we look at the side view, we just have 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3 going up. So imagine you're looking at it from this direction. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, and then we have 1, 2 to the side. So why is that? Because this block, and the block underneath it, you can't see. 3 blocks are not seen from the side view. So what would the other side view look like? Well, let's scoot it on over and let's pretend we're looking at it from this direction. Okay, so we really can't see any of them, but we can still tell how many blocks we would see and what shape they would be. So here we would have 1 block at the top, 1 block in the middle, then that hidden block down there. And then coming out from the right would be 1, 2 more blocks. So it would look just like this if we were looking at it from this angle. So what would the top view look like? Now we're just going to be looking at the blue ones, kind of like our perspective of the Statue of Liberty when we were looking on top. We couldn't see her face under here, because her hat was blocking it, but we knew it was there, right? So what would our top view look like? Well, again, if we look at the blue, 1, 2, 3 across, and then 1, 2, 3 down to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This would be your top view. How many blocks are hidden from the top view? That's right, 2 blocks would have been hidden from the top view. So now it's your turn. You actually have to really think about this and try to change your perspective and imagine, if I was on the other side of that solid, what would it look like? So here are tonight's practice problems. You're going to have 5 just like you do every night, but because they're so big and they're drawn out like this, I'm going to give you the answer in between. So you're going to be pausing after every new problem that comes up. So first of all, excuse me, tell me, which of the following down here is the front view of this solid? Is it A, B, C, or D? Go ahead and write that down, pause the video, come back when you have an answer. Did you choose B? If you did, you'd be correct, because here you have 3, 2, and then 1. 3, 2, and 1. That is the front view of that solid. Pretty easy, right? Let's try a little harder one. Number 2, which of the following is the side view of the solid? So the side that's all shaded in, all right? Now remember, if you were standing over here, looking at it this way, what would you see? Go ahead and pause the video and come back when you have an answer. Did you choose C? Great job if you did, because remember, this is unseen. So this gets pulled all the way up here, so it would look like 4 different separate blocks. Okay, here's the next one. Number 3, which of the following is the top view of this solid figure? The top view. Go ahead and pause the video and come back when you have an answer. Did you choose A? That's right, because if you were standing up here, you would just see this one, and this one. So it would look like 3 across. Number 4, ooh, this one's a little bit harder, but you can do it. Which of the following is a top view of this solid figure? Again, imagine you're flying over the top of it, and what would it look like? Go ahead and pause the video. Come back when you have an answer. Did you choose C? Yep, that would in fact be the right answer, because if you were looking from the top, you would see this one, but you wouldn't see this one. So you just see this, this, and this. So 3, this, and this. And then you would just see this, the top of this one, and the top of this one. 1, 2, 3. Okay, here's your last one, number 5. Which of the following is a front view of this figure? A front view. Pause the video, come back when you have an answer. All right, I hope you chose D, because the front view is sometimes the easiest one. So we know we've seen these 4 together right here, and then we would see 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, before you go, make sure you checked your work and you wrote how many you got correct out of 5. Remember, be honest, this is not for grade. It's just to help us understand exactly what we need to help you with a little bit later in class. Honestly, fill out that self-reflection. Could you teach a friend, or are you still confused? And fill in the space for any questions you might still have. Don't you worry, I'll be back for another edition of Flippin' in Fifth with me, Mrs. G. Hope you had fun. See you later. Bye-bye.